What's good, people? This is the Rap Roundtable. Your boy Jarvis, the Rap Snob, Dini the Balance, the homie Mace. We just want to make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, help us get our numbers up. We're trying to get 2,000 subs, 5,000. Y'all know how this go. If y'all think we're good and y'all love the content, some of y'all always say, yo, how come y'all don't have more views? It's because y'all don't sub. So make sure y'all do that and tap in with us. Peace.
The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, the Rap Roundtable returns. You know, the Kendrick Lamar stimulus package means that there's more news for us to talk about, more things to get into, more opinions to give, more takes to have. It's your boy Jarv here alongside the Rap Snob, alongside Dini the Balance, alongside the homie Mace. And, you know, we're looking around the landscape. We've digested this album for close to a week. And the general consensus in this album is right down the middle. Either you love it or you hate it. I don't even see people who just like the album. It seems like there's a general consensus of love, hate, trash, etc. But we're not here to necessarily talk about that. It's about with Kendrick releasing and looking at his peers. You know, at this pod, history shows, we always talk about Kendrick, Cole, Drake. The big three, the holy trinity. These are the guys of the modern era who are supposed to be holding the baton from the previous regime. And even further than that, J. Cole has kind of, you know, secured himself as the number one guy. One would argue, right?
He's leveled up.
With this album, the question has to be asked, fellas. Is it Cole or is it Kendrick? We need to know. The people need to know, Sincere. So, you know, let's get right into him. Who is that guy right this second?
Yeah. Do y'all really have to ask me?
Yes.
Y'all don't know what I'm gonna say.
No.
I guess y'all know.
We know.
Say, but maybe the people out there might need to hear. Look, listen. I wasn't always a fan of Cole, right? I'll start there, right? He's definitely grown on me in the last couple years as he's, you know, leveled up. He's gotten. I think he's gotten better as an MC. I think he's grown more confident as an MC. In 2021, the off season was one of my favorite albums of last year, right? But if I'm gonna be really and truly honest with myself and with y'all out there, J. Cole's not fucking with Kendrick. That's just bottom line. It's really just bottom line. And this is like, I don't even feel like that's an opinion. That's just like an objective truth to me.
Objective truth.
You put the discography side by side. You put their performances side by side. You put the depth, the dexterity, the flows, everything side by side. There's nowhere where Cole comes out on top. Nowhere to me. And this is coming from, again, somebody that, you know, especially last year and the year before, he had all those features that were fire. I was a fan of all of them, right? He had the album last year, which, you know, I probably like that album more than anybody else at the table, I feel. But really, I mean, I almost want to say that his powers got souped up, not just while Kendrick was gone, but maybe because Kendrick was gone.
Wow.
And now that Kendrick is back, like, I'm seeing how, like, if I put up this album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, against the Off Season or any other J. Cole album, I'm gonna see how much J. Cole comes up short as an artist, as an MC. It's gonna be glaring to me.
Bro, are you really being objective, bro?
I am. I absolutely am. At this point, listen. I'll go one step further. Kendrick's album of Throwaways is better than any Cole album we put out.
This is
Untitled, Unmastered.
Sin, you know what the only issue with your statement, Sin?
What's up?
Is that you named everything about the album except for the goddamn listening quality, bro. You know what I'm saying? You name who's the better rapper, who's the better flows, who does this, who does that. Which one is better to listen to? There's no way this Kendrick album is better to listen to than the J. Cole album, bro.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a better album. It's like track by track. It's a better album. It's a better piece of art than Cole's album.
Half the songs are not even sonic to me. Half the songs are just like messages. You know what I'm saying? To get you to think.
That's you.
Think pieces more than actual like dope records, but I digress.
Nah, don't digress. This dude's sitting here like, bro, like we doing this podcast.
And the thing is that I've always felt like that. And then, you know, again, when Kendrick was gone, now I'm looking at Cole like, oh shit, maybe I was fronting on Cole for a while. But now Kendrick is back and it's like, nope, I was kind of right about Cole. He's dope. He's good. He's just not enough. When compared
listen,
to Kendrick.
Listen, I don't want the people, because he's doing a hell of a job of bloviating. There's a lot of dick riding happening over here.
It's not.
Mace, can you jump in here and give us your take on the question without choking yourself with any capes? You know what I'm saying? It's not the fucking Kendrick Lamar fan cast. What's going on here, bro?
As the biggest Drake fan in the gang, you know, I hate on Kendrick and J. Cole equally. You know what I mean? So I feel like I have to ask, you know, a point that's very objective. So I'm gonna go with the newly minted PG Langston and say that this isn't even a question. Like J. Cole and Kendrick, like when we talk about, to mirror Sin's point again, like J. Cole's reign was almost like, you know, Hakeem Olajuwon's reign. Like we all knew who the best player in the game was.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You got your chips, you know, but we know who would have won the chips before.
And 2 rings.
Nasty. You know, a great player, all-time great, but you know those rings are in question because as soon as the guy was unretired, you saw what happened. Like Beanie, I've completely flipped on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I love this album. At this point, it's in the running of album of the year for me. At this,
you
point.
are the second person to say it.
Yeah, man, I had to get off board with you, brother. Like, so while J. Cole, you know, he's definitely, you know, one of the, you know, supporting characters in this game right now. We all know Kendrick dropped, the game stopped. We're having think pieces on his songs. We having, you know, everybody's waiting on the tour now. Like people are quoting it. Like, come on, like J. Cole is a perpetual underdog.
It's been 3 days.
Every time he drops something better, you know what I mean? Like we're like, wow, we didn't think he was that good. You know what I mean? This is impressive. So he's always working from that angle, and I feel like, you know, come on now, we all know Kendrick is better than J. Cole, bro. If Drake's pen wasn't in question, Drake would be above Cole. If you want to be honest with, like, for most people, the people who don't care about the pen, they got Drake over J. Cole. And for us, like, I don't know. I listen to Drake more, but I obviously know he's not writing all this shit, so I'm not going shit on Cole like that. But Cole is the perpetual, like, third wheel in this big three. Like, it's been like that. It's gonna stay like that. Like, we've been waiting on Kendrick for 5 years. Cole been dropping almost every year, every other year. We wasn't hype about that. We didn't really care. Like,
it's been 3 days, bro.
I don't. What you mean? What you mean? Yo,
Dini keeps saying it's been 3 days.
It's been 3 days.
It's been 11 years of Kendrick's career. You cannot boil it down to just 3 days since the last album came out.
I'm speaking on as far as the off season and as far as the Mr. Morale joint. The sonic quality is just not as there as the way y'all. Like I said, we're talking about nuanced topics. Got it. We're talking about touchy subjects. Got it. We're talking about, like, is this motherfucker get canceled for this? Got it. But I'm talking about just simple playback value. Like, if you're not a complete stand for the dude, is that hard, Macito?
Not a stand for.
I would never call Mace a Kendrick stand. I would never describe Mace as a Kendrick stand in my life.
I wouldn't either.
But he sees it.
Y'all a tough act to follow here. This is not what
Dini, talk to us, man. Dini.
I mean, Dini done got in a few times here. Wait, can I talk? The fuck?
Jump in, Joey.
What you got, man?
I mean, first of all, like, the issue I'm having with Mace, and more specifically Sincere's answers to this question is, y'all are using greater to describe better right now. We're not talking about their resumes and what they did previously. We're talking about May 2022.
Copy.
I didn't ask who was greater.
That's what I was based off.
I'm not
doing that. I'm based off these two albums.
I never said that.
That doesn't change anything.
Well, it changes it for me because if I had to answer the question, and granted, I do enjoy Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I don't know if it's album of the year. I'm not in love with it like my two co-hosts over here. So you see, listeners, that there's a split in the table. Y'all love to say y'all. Objectivity. One person says something and y'all think it speaks for all four of us. We don't agree on this. This album is really good. I think it's really good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really good. But when we just talk about rapping at the Rap Roundtable, I think J. Cole is ahead of Kendrick Lamar right now. I'm gonna give that's a lot of the album. J. Cole could do a hell of a Kendrick impersonation. Shit, he just did it with Bia a couple weeks ago. He could switch his voice. He could switch his flow. But I don't know if Kendrick Lamar could do what Cole does at a high level. We keep talking about old Cole, and be clear, relax and say, Hold on, let me finish. But we at the table, we all didn't care for J. Cole. College J. Cole and all of that platinum without a feature shit, we didn't care. We snoozed. We used it to go to sleep. If you had a sleeping issue, you put on J. Cole and you were okay. And then something happened around KOD. He figured out something that I don't know what he figured out. And from KOD and going forward, and he's progressively gotten better. He's gotten in that lab. He's like Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi was just a defensive stopper on the Spurs. And then by the time he got to the Raptors, he was a world champion, a monster, a top 3 player in the NBA. And I'm looking at J. Cole like Kawhi, minus the injuries. He's that guy to me, bar for bar, flow for flow, skill for skill. Give me J. Cole this second.
There's no
hesitation.
There's no way, man.
He's out rapping Kendrick on any beat right now.
Cole is talented. He's extremely talented.
Right.
Kendrick is gifted. There's a difference. There's layers.
If they both dropped again,
like both of them new albums.
Cole, and that's not because the Cole will be better. It's just because I just got the Kendrick and I'm like, it's cool. It's cool, but I would check the new Drake. I mean the new Cole.
You know what's funny? The old heads that we talked about who didn't care for the Kendrick Lamar album, they enjoyed them some J. Cole recently. They've been giving Cole a lot of favor. Granted, that's a small sample size by comparison to the total fan base. But J. Cole's recent releases have reached more unanimous acclaim than Kendrick Lamar just released. I'm just saying.
Mano and Uncle Murder fans love it. You're right.
Oh.
Wow. The Lobby Boy vibes.
Wow.
Damn it, man.
Mace.
Yeah.
Off the top rope.
Okay, Llama Mace, you coming around.
So Didi, you team Cole, I'm team Cole.
Oh.
Damn. So chat, y'all know what y'all gotta do. Y'all know what y'all gotta do in them comments.
Yo, break the tie, y'all.
Let us know what it is.
Take a pick. And then the whole genesis of this conversation stems from a text that Sid put in the group chat where it says it was a Dreamville tweet that says, I've noticed from J. Cole and Kendrick debates. J. Cole fans love Kendrick. Kendrick fans hate on J. Cole a lot. And lo and behold, here goes Sincere the Rap Snob proving this tweet right.
I'm not hate. It's not hate. It's not hate, but it's like, but I see it. Okay. Like, because if I'm a J. Cole fan, right, I'm absolutely gonna look up to Kendrick. But if I'm a Kendrick fan, like, why am I gonna look towards Kendrick Light?
Again. You're doing
it again.
I mean?
Why am I gonna go for Kendrick Light when I got Kendrick?
You calling the nicest rapper in the game right now Kendrick Light? The game, not the underground space. Signed rappers to mainstream. Be clear, chat. Y'all be ready to jump on this. J. Cole is better than Kendrick, bro, and you proving this guy's right. Like, what is your issue with J. Cole, son?
There is no issue with J. Cole.
There's
none. I like J. Cole. I told you I came around, and the offseason was one of my favorite albums of last year. I was even like when the year ended, I was going back and forth, like listening to my favorite albums. I was going back and forth between KD2 and the off season. I was like, which one do I honestly like better? It ended up being KD2, but it was in the running.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I mean, Kendrick is Kendrick, bro. Like, did y'all see the video?
Yes.
Yeah. Seen the video?
It was fire. Kendrick
That
is
video
amazing.
was crazy. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Cole.
Name a Cole video.
Who you talking
That's
about?
fucking
You talking about rap,
I can
bro?
name a whole bunch of Cole videos in the last 5 years, but I can't say the same for
artistry.
Kendrick.
We're talking about artistry, art.
This sound like me right now,
Artists.
man.
Go ahead, Mace. So what's with this whole hate, this divided the culture between these two artists, bro? What do you think it is?
This is more of J. Cole's fans, like victim mentality, man.
Victim
Kendrick
mentality.
fans are hating on J. Cole. I've never seen this, bro. I've never seen this. I've seen more J. Cole fans acting like he's like the only great rapper there is. Like he's the only one that talks about real topics. Like so, this is slander. This is not a real thing. This is just more of J. Cole fans wanting to put him in that underdog category, so he can, platinum with no features. Who cares, really? Honestly, who cares?
Oh, wow.
Yo,
It's a big deal, though.
Off the top, bro.
I'm not gonna give J. Cole extra points for finally getting off his own beats and making people like his rap more, bro. Like,
and I can't give Kendrick more for finally getting off his ass and making him some music, bro.
Yo, I don't know.
Talk about it,
what we doing here?
Yo, I don't know if this will come out in the final recording, but Mace popped out of the Zoom and then popped in. It's like Mace
I have a question.
Tagged out and tagged himself back in. Bro.
I have a
He's
question.
his own tag team.
Check this out. If what Kendrick's last album was, which was Damn?
Yeah, before this it was Damn. Yeah.
So let's just fantasy world sound. You know what I'm saying? If this album came out a year after Damn, would y'all be thirsty like this over the album, or this is more like just it's been a drought of Kendrick, and we're just glad to have the water back, bro?
This I said it before, yeah, and some of y'all gonna be mad at me, but this album is better than Damn. So yeah, I would be. I would
nuts, bro.
I would absolutely.
Bro,
this album is not better than Damn, bro.
Not better than Damn.
Bloviating, bro.
Damn was his safest album. That's why
Mace.
the casuals
just because
Mace is recluding.
Now let me say something. Just because he took more risks with the content doesn't make it better music. You do not get to separate the music from the fucking content, Sincere. Stop doing that shit. The music was not better on this album, bro.
What you said is true, but it doesn't apply to this example.
Okay.
It doesn't apply.
It does though. Y'all killing me, B. Like this.
I love saying he go down with the shit.
All of a sudden, you know what? All of a sudden, Kendrick come home, and now y'all forget about the dude who been giving y'all that block work. The 5 years Kendrick been locked up. Cole been serving y'all.
Someone had to give y'all that block piff.
We're a little ungrateful. We're a little ungrateful.
You forgot.
A lot of ungrateful.
I'll own up to that.
I've shitted on J. Cole as much as anybody, man. But since Forest Hills Drive, since KOD, since he's been coming off season. I even thought the tape that he just dropped with his little team was cool. I just appreciated the energy, bro. Like your man ain't put no energy in the. He ain't even do no actual like features. We got one feature in 5 years.
He was busy making.
Did you listen to the album? Did you listen to the album?
Bro,
well, you gotta understand. I'll give him a caveat.
He was
not
getting
happy.
his mind right.
Right.
He was saving his soul.
He's got his mind left, man. That was a long time, bro. 5 years.
Hey, when you gonna let it go, man? We get it, man.
I'm not, bro. At the prime,
Dini, you got abandonment issues, bro?
Yo, I don't like. You know how I feel about. There's a lot of artists I feel that way about. At the prime, when people want the music, bro, you just vanish. And like I said, and this for y'all, this is good enough for being gone for 5 years. This shit not y'all, but y'all two niggas. This is not good enough for being gone for 5 years, bro.
Dini, just call this album. Dini, just call it mid, bro. You've been
Nah, it's not mid. It's not
call
mid.
Because
like I said, the songs I like, I love. But there's a lot of fill on there. Like I said, the first 3 joints to me
that's literally mid, bro. That's
not mid. Half is half fire, half no. That's not mid. It can't be mid if it's half. It's most
half and half. Put it together, it's mid.
The songs I like, I love.
Well, all right.
Put it that way.
Listen, we're spiraling into a conversation about the album again when we have already had. But Dini, what is the mid song to you? I want to know. I'm looking at the checklist.
So I bumped it again. Intro to me, it's like I said, message is beautiful, but I'm not listening to that on some regular shit.
United and fire, bro. He was blowing his ass off on that.
He was rapping. The skill of rapping is there. But if I want to listen to some music, that's not would be what I tap into. N95, I hated the first verse, the chorus and the second verse, dope. Third joint, keep it. Die Hard, I realize the reason I love Die Hard, bro. It gives me all of the Stars vibes from the Black Truth album.
I actually hate Die Hard, but go ahead.
What?
That's a big skip for me. Big skip.
I love that album.
I agree with that.
I had the track list on my phone. If y'all want to run down, Crown, Fire, Rich Spirit, Fire.
But no, I'm saying, what is filler to you? What do you consider filler?
First 3 tracks.
Those are filler.
Yeah. The shit with Kodak was cool. I thought that was dope having Kodak.
What about the rich interlude with Kodak?
Yeah, but it was dope because it was just dope to see him working with Kodak. Kendrick and Kodak to me just like that was beautiful. But did we need it? No. Rich Spirit, fire. You can keep naming tracks. My phone is in use, so I can't see the track. Mr. Morale,
we know we cry together is fire. What about Purple Hearts?
That's definitely beautiful.
Ghostface,
the shit with Baby King,
Walker.
Savior, fire.
Fire.
But like I said, like at least 6, 7 joints to me.
Diaries.
All right. Yeah. Let me ask you. Auntie Diaries. What about Mother I Sober?
That was cool. That was cool.
Fire.
Mirror.
Right. I mean,
thought it could have ended better as an album, but the song is decent.
It
could have ended the album better though.
Hate any song?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't hate the album. I just think for the way y'all are talking about it, you know what I'm saying, it should have been better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
all right.
Like if I want a history lesson, if I want the ills of society, I'll listen to that, bro. But if I want
it's not even the ills of society. I think you're not even listening right because it's not. It's the most personal album he's ever put. Like he's not talking about nobody else other than himself.
Dini saying he heard
ills of society,
and I respect that. But those are what the world is going through right now, right? If you're going through what the world is going through, it is personal.
It's like the micro version of To Pimp a Butterfly. To Pimp a Butterfly was macro, like society at large, like the bigger picture. This is the micro version. This is what he's going through as it relates to all the stuff he talked about in To Pimp a Butterfly.
And that's beautiful, bro.
I don't think Dini liked To Pimp a Butterfly either, though.
I mean, that's not my favorite joint from him. Like my favorite joint from him is his first joint. So it's kind of been going away from what I love every album he makes. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not really the fan that y'all are.
Not to mention Cole been giving you all that stuff Kendrick just talked about recently in a more digestible way. You know what I mean?
Heavy on the introspection.
Maybe not the song about his uncle becoming his arm, but beyond that, he's been giving you the same thing with better beats, better flows. I'm just saying.
He hasn't been giving you the same thing as this album. He hasn't. Nah. I mean, again, like subject-wise, there's a lot of similarities.
Some panning left to right sound effects with it? That's what you need? You want some spoken word, nigga?
Listen, the mixing is impeccable.
It's a different level. It's a different level.
Oh. But while we're here, though, let me throw this out here, because I've been seeing a lot of this on Twitter, on the socials. The quote-unquote, the real heads, right? Yes. They might be of a certain age group, right? They might have a certain sensibility, and they're calling both Kendrick and Cole, because Cole received this as well. But lately, because of the album, we're seeing it, thrown at Kendrick. They're calling them what I would consider diet conscious. Like they're not real conscious rappers, right? I don't know who they would consider specifically conscious rappers, but like I'm thinking, Dead Prez. I'm thinking like,
Old
Common, Mos Def, Kweli, Immortal
Black Thought.
You go back to Public Enemy, maybe Brand Nubian, and they're looking at that lineage, and they're looking at Kendrick and Cole as if they're not quite that. They're not quite at that level of conscious. They're having like this conscious Olympics apparently, where some, you know, you got to try to out-conscious each other. Like, anyway, Deanie, what you make of that?
I mean, in the era of where everybody's on some I guess the people who actually say words will be looked at in a greater light, and since they are the wordier of they're the most tolerable of the wordier MC. They're like just a step before boom nap. Shout out to the homie Rim. You know what I'm saying? But right before hip hop starts to go, they're in the center right before that. So I get why people would put them in there though, but especially Kendrick, especially with the To Pimp a Butterfly, because we would not call that a conscious album. Are people wrong to have that thought though? I don't think people are wrong to have that
that's
thought.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That like they're being perceived as conscious by their fan base and by, you know, the listener, you know, the listener soundscape at large. But to them, they're not really, Kendrick's not really conscious to them. They're saying that Kendrick falls short of being a real conscious artist.
But that's because they had when you have the macro, like you said, when you have the macro of anything that comes short under the macro would just seem like it's on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're just the lighter version. Because I'm sure if you ask Kendrick, in some way, he would admit that he's kind of a conscious rapper. And I'm sure J. Cole would say the same thing. They touch, it's the topics you touch, it's the way you deliver the music, bro. Like, yeah, I'd put them in there, and I think they'll put themselves in there too.
Mace, how you feel about? Oh, but go ahead, Joe.
Matter of fact, let me hear from Mace, because I want to make sure I don't step on his point.
Nah, personally, that's an interesting point to me, but like what it depends on what you define as conscious rapper. You know what I mean? Are we talking about the Talib Kweli's of the world, the Mos Defs of the world, the Commons of the world? I feel like they are comparable to them artistically, to keep it above. You know, when people say, "Oh, these are diet conscious rappers," I believe that comes from a place of almost well, a lot more transparent these days. So you can actually see that Kendrick may not be following the life that he's portraying, that J. Cole may not be following. So it's easy to say, hey, they're not really conscious. You know, meanwhile, looking through their rose-colored glasses, they didn't know Talib Kweli was chilling with porn stars and most definitely doing club and shit. Was bugging out. Like the conscious rappers was always bugging out just as much as anybody. But so when people call our newer rappers diet conscious, I think it's more of that, like, oh, they not living like that when we thought that the old guys were living like that. But as far as, I wouldn't have an issue with that, because I feel like artistically I can see the lineage from those types to these types. You know what I mean? I think it's just another point is that people aren't used to seeing it as popular. You know what I'm saying? So that may be another thing where it's like they can't be conscious. They going platinum. You know what I mean?
And that's where I want
society ills.
That's where I want to come in, because that's the point I was gonna make, Mace. I want to make sure that I didn't take that. I had a feeling you was, because we kind of think the same on certain topics. I think that the issue with the older heads is, when it comes to conscious, is popularity, and I think part of it is because they still think along the lines of the sin. We talked about this on an episode a few months ago, where it was like the older heads who saw, like, you know, the infancy to a certain degree and seeing certain rappers get big but still keep it street or whatever. They look at popularity as selling out, and I'm not judging them for it, but it's always a bit of a pushback from a certain segment of the older segment of the culture, from guys who move units, because they feel as though if you're moving this much units, you're on the radio and all this, you're not keeping it real anymore. This is not real. The real in real hip hop is not being on the radio, doing these big budget videos, just keeping the street, keeping it thorough, etc., etc. And looking at a guy like a Kendrick and Cole, these guys are universally praised, critical acclaim and universal praise don't usually go hand in hand. And we got two of those in this era. So it's like, yeah, these dudes can't be that, because they commercial. They making R&B hooks and all of this and that. They making these big budget videos. They standing next to Jay-Z and Rock Nation affiliations, and Kendrick Lamar doing curating soundtracks for big budget Marvel movies. Like, how can you be conscious and you're a millionaire? In that mind, they don't view these two things is mutually inclusive. You know what I'm saying? It was surprising that Kanye made it so far being conscious before they started to figure out, he's not really. But then again, he told us he wasn't really what he said he was.
Right, recently, yeah.
But it's like they don't like popular rappers, and I need to put that in the comments too. Why do older rap fans not like popular rappers? What is this whole appeal about being unknown? They've even lied to themselves about their favorite rappers not being popular when he's popular as fuck. So I need to understand that shit.
You remember that whole bar, Joff?
It's fun. There's so
Truthfully,
many.
I want to rhyme like common sense, but I went platinum. I ain't rhyming like common sense.
But that's the problem. They push back against popularity. But all of these rappers that they hold up and send you named with the exception of a few, all of those rappers wanted to be popular. They wanted to move units. They tried to move units. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, Public Enemy. They were famously. Their song was famously featured on a big, Hollywood movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Right Thing. You know what I mean? It's a classic film. I know it's Spike
Lee,
is iconic, but it's iconic, right? I kind of agree. I mostly agree with what's been said. I want to add on to it that there's probably some sonic sensibilities as well that come into it. You know what I mean? As we know, certain demographics of listeners, they're not going to really be drawn to newer sounds, newer artists, right? And so, I mean, I've had a history. I've had a history of that. All right, I've had a history of that. So as soon as they hear like a Kendrick song or a Cole song that's got some 808s, it's got like the BPMs are 120, like immediately they just throw it away, and they're like, you know what? This can't be conscious because the beat doesn't sound conscious.
Right.
I mean, if it was a boom bappier beat at 90 or 85 BPMs, then they might rock with it a little bit.
But at what point do these people look at what some of these younger conscious acts are doing as the next evolution, as opposed to a devaluing of a sound?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like they're so stuck in a certain era of it, and the popularity obviously plays into it as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you can't. If you're not boom bap or underground or both, then you can't be conscious, right? And that's horseshit to me. That's nonsense, right? They want to hear somebody rap about the pyramids every other song and the third eyes and I'm in Ra. You know what I mean? And getting your chakras, every other song, every song the same thing. You know what I mean?
Lords and the Earths.
That's not
5% is gonna send ass after this, man.
But I guess it goes back to that whole subgenre thing. Like, we gotta stop looking at rap as one thing. Like, it's not that anymore. It hasn't been that for maybe 15 years. Like, you want that, go there. Don't ask these acts to do something that they just don't want to do or not capable of doing. Go to those acts for that shit. You know what I mean? I don't understand, but
and honestly, I'm listening to this Kendrick album, and there's a lot of shit that all the the Dead Prez's and Immortal Techniques and that whole crowd just haven't touched on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Kendrick is really opening new doors in terms of like what can be talked about and discussed in rap music, in hip hop culture.
And also,
I mean, what's more conscious than that, honestly?
And to bring it forward, I throw it to you guys, DMAs. At some point, some of these older heads, no disrespect, have to realize that Kendrick isn't talking to you. Most rappers, era to era, spoke to their generation and below. They didn't speak to the bigger heads above them. The OGs were the OGs for a reason. Kendrick is talking to his peers and younger people trying to deliver a certain message to uplift them. It's not for you. So we gotta start accepting that shit.
Till Hov started talking about niggas owning patents, rap wasn't really for no older niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, rap has always been a younger
you gotta give Nas
game.
credit. Nas was doing that first. You gotta put some respect on Nas.
Okay, granted, but that wasn't aimed to the 40-year-old crowd. That was a lot of shit was still aimed to the nigga outside on the block. You know what I'm saying? It's
older nigga outside. Life is good was not for no young nigga.
That's crazy. Like the 40-year-old nigga out on the block, life is bad. Like, life is not good.
But he's speaking to them though. I'm just saying.
I feel what you're saying, but I feel like it's even when we listen to the music that we love to today, most of these guys aren't talking to us.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Dudes that are in their 35, 40, because we're not out there doing the same shit that the younger crowd's doing. When they talk about moving bricks and doing all the crazy stuff and it's a younger generation. I what I do is I take the music in and it's like food, bro. Pause. I eat the meat, spit out the bones. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink lean, but I can listen to a dude rap about doing it all day if he makes it sound good. You know what I'm saying? I could take that part out. And just you have to just take what you can take out of it. In the same way I did with the Kendrick album. The parts I took out of it, I love. The parts I didn't want, stay over there. You get what I'm saying? It's just the way you interpret the music. I interpret the music different.
I dig that. I mean, I think. Well, you got anything else in before we wrap this up?
Yeah, because I was just having a conversation with my son earlier, and he was and talking with his friend. They're both 20, for context. Oh, shit. And so his friend was asking me my opinion on the album, and I was giving it to him. And he was like, he didn't really dig the album, and his point was that he likes the messaging and he understands like the concepts and stuff, but if the people that need to hear it are probably not going to listen to it because of the sonics of it, and that he should have made a more palatable album for the people that really need to listen to it. What you think of that?
That's facts. I agree with that 100%. Like I said, I feel like the album was more messaging than actual sonics. If he maybe pulled back on the messaging or even just improved the sonics, the album, because the message, the songs that are fire, the messages still hit. The shit about the aunt, the We Cry Together, those songs have incredible messages and they still hit. I just feel like a lot of the songs just didn't hit. So I agree with Youngblood. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think he tried. I think a song like M95 is like the bait and switch. We give you something a little Bobby to rope you in, and then when you download the album or you stream it or you buy, however you ingest it, then there's be all of this other shit on there. There's a few songs like I don't like Die Hard, but that's another one of those records. Purple Hearts is another one of those records where like he's giving you something to get the spins. And if you care enough about this single, you'll tap into the album. I think he really tried to go somewhere in the middle to get his shit off and still get the streams up.
And before I give it up, to one thing Jarv said yesterday when he said yesterday when you said you think the Heart Part 5 hurt the album.
I think
it's the best song on the album.
Because we got our return after so long that people rushed that more so than anything else.
But I'm talking about sonic value. I think that's a better song than just about anything on the album.
It's the Marvin Gaye instrumental, too. Basically. Like that's.
I mean, yeah.
But the music,
We Cry Together is way better than
it hits different.
$5, bro.
What? Sonically?
Is. Yes, the Alchemist beat, the concept rapping. You got the chick. How you got a chick arguing and still in the pocket, bro? Nah, We Cry Together, guys.
Crying voice and all that. It was a beautiful song. The Heart Part 5, the shit that nigga was saying, and then the video just changed the game.
I was talking about the album to a friend of mine on Instagram, an old coworker of mine, who's also a Kendrick fan. I was kind of in awe as to like some of the pockets that Kendrick found in some of the like, especially early on in the album. The songs that you don't like the beats are so off, and he somehow still finds a pocket that works, and he rides. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's crazy.
And 65 got like 10 different flows. Like, bro, that shit is crazy.
It does.
Hence, Kendrick is better than Cole, bringing it full circle. Now, to all you out there, listen. To all of you out there,
to crucify sin.
To all of you out there, that's like, why we gotta compare? Like, that's mad childish, bro.
That's life. Tell them to eat it.
We having fun. We've compared rappers ever since like we started listening to rap. Way back in the day, it was always about who's better. We always enjoyed everybody, but it was like, who's better, Rakim or Kane? Who's better, Jay-Z or Nas? Who's better, Biggie or Pac? Who's better, Kanye or Wayne?
Everything, bro. Benz, BMW. We do it with life.
Always
Get
going
over
on.
that shit. Like,
we appreciate both, but we still gonna
compare because like
we treat it like a sport, the sport that it is.
Come on, like when
how you know what's better than what if you don't compare? That's literally how you know what something's better.
Stop taking this shit so seriously to where like oh my god, like stop being so fucking self-serious and be a fan and have fun with this shit. Like come on, son. Exactly, it's hip hop. God damn. Got me worked up all over again. J. Cole is better than Kendrick. Diddy agrees.
Yeah,
no way.
Mason Sin have Kendrick over Cole. The chat is gonna decide. I might even put a poll up for a change and let them vote. Let the people of Gotham decide.
Change his sensei's name to OVO OK Llama.
PG Lane.
OVO
OK.
PG Sin. OK Sin.
Oh my God. People, this is
That's
the Rap
way better than
Roundtable.
Ill Will Records, man.
Oh, that's OG. That was the
That's
OG.
a fact.
I mean,
Yeah, way
Ill
better though.
Wilson,
Oh shit. Massive Pill Sin.
Massive
Jeez.
Pill Sin. Watch when KD3 come out.
Yeah,
Massive
brother.
Pill Sin gonna be on deck. He might be a
Yep.
fake Nas fan, but they gonna see.
They gonna see.
Word.
They gonna see.
Album of the year.
Yo, people, we gotta go. This has been the Rap Roundtable. I had fun with my fellas. I hope y'all enjoyed
Hell
having
yeah.
fun with us.
You
Tap
dig?
in with us. Again, the Cash App is available. Donate to that. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, what is it? Twitter, Apple Pod, YouTube, Spotify, all of that. Get familiar with us. Episode 46 is out right now. Make sure you fuck with us. And
If
Your
you're
bias
new,
two on the way.
hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Definitely comment. Let us know what you thought about what we said. What side do you fall on? All that.
sir, run this shit up.
Peace, y'all.